AMG GTR, and then we have, oh my god. Okay, first of all, piece of spider, but I've never seen a white with white roof LaFerrari. This might be the coolest car I've seen here ever. So yeah, this is the white LaFerrari with the white roof, red interior with white stitching. In my opinion, this is probably the coolest LaFerrari in the world. I think it's been for sale for a while. I don't know if it still is, but damn, this is a spec right here. Say no to your black roof, say no to carbon roofs. Like, you just need body color, and when you do white, like, it shows the lines of the car so nicely. Still have the carbon diffuser, all that stuff, but man, an all white LaFerrari, I don't think there's more than maybe 5 or 10 of these, especially, you know, white roof is crazy. Okay, so let's start looking at this lot, because a lot of new cars came from yesterday, including this Diablo GT that we actually saw curated on Thursday next to a Ferrari 550. Something's pulling in right here. But let's keep going, because guys, like a silverish blue Enzo, I'm actually pretty sure this one sold literally within the last 3 weeks. I saw at least similar specs selling in auction for huge money, and only a Cavallino across from the Enzo. We got an F40 and obviously F8s, 328s, all that, but this lineup is just full of surprises. Let's go check it out. Now, I didn't even notice next to the Enzo is the ultimate, if you know, you know, hypercar, the if you know, you know, $1 million car or $4 million car. 288 GTO, the predecessor to the F40, which, speaking of which, boom, we got one right there. Ooh, another TDF just showed up. Very nice spec on this one. Now, I'm not going to pretend like I'm an expert in the colors, but we have matching color Ferrari Enzo. We saw this yesterday, kind of in the back of the lot, and an F50, completely matching colors. So cool. Ooh. Look at that combo. One of the best Veyron variants in my opinion. I mean, yes, Vitesses have more power, a little more aggressive, but you really don't ever see just regular Grand Sports. I think there's 150 Vitesses. I'd be surprised if there's over 50 regular Grand Sports. 1,000 horsepower, kind of a 60.4 engine, but with a removable roof. And this one, I believe, used to be Floyd Mayweather's old car. I've never seen it in person, always wanted to see it. In my opinion, one of the best specs. But look at this, just random spot in Palm Beach. So one of, at this point, I don't know, 20 F40s here. LaFerrari yellow coupe FXXK wheels, A12 GTS, and here obviously not a Ferrari, but you can't hate on a Diablo. Looks like a 91 Diablo. Another A12 GTS, 430 16M, but look at the spec on this A12 GTS. White on white, very Miami, very Florida, red Daytona accents. Another A12 GTS here. The amount of A12 GTSs here is actually kind of absurd. We got the Pagoda SL, SF90, but across from that, another A12 GTS, Z06, and the green A12 Comp. So while we're in the show, this Chiron showed up. You know, I don't know why every year some sort of Bugatti shows up, and it's usually a Chiron, it's just a regular one, and full carbon body, not bad at all. And our friends from Connecticut are here in the Paganis. And the BC. So Matte Blue 918 showed up. We were kind of chilling in the car, kind of charging our phones, just relaxing, and this came in. But the cool part is the license plate is MAGA. Very Florida, very Palm Beach. But yeah, Matte Blue 918 showed up out of nowhere. Pretty good here. So we are now tagging along to Zach Brell's shoot of the Diablo GT, just kind of here on the streets of Palm Beach. Those are cool, but that's a lot cooler. We got the Ferrari Enzo right now, right on the water. Oh, this thing is so sick. And here it is. Pretty much all like a champagne color paint, not a lot of carbon on this. I love that. Shows the body lines a lot more. You never see them, kind of a little more plain like this, but what a cool car. I didn't expect to see this. Then an Aventador S Roadster and a purple SVJ right in front of it. We saw black SVJ earlier, didn't film, but I mean, like, this place is crazy today. And SVJ, another one. And the 765 Spider is leaving. Looks pretty good with the air brake up, especially with the center seats. Honestly, I don't know about the color. It's a cool color. It's not really for me. Center seats, spider, everything though. That's a good spec. 918. What the fuck? How do we? What? Holy shit! We're driving randomly towards New Jersey, and there's a new Ford GT. What? What's going on with these random spots, New York? New York, you are on fire. First, we see a 918, and now a Ford GT. We don't see random stuff like that just out of the blue in New York. What the hell? Such a cool spec on this A12 GTS. Tailor-made interior. Kind of like the old baseball glove looking leather seats. So sick. And the Countach is leaving. Yeah, I'm vlogging as well. We got TGE here from the UK. Weekend trip.
Hi, how's it going?
So what do you think so far? What's your favorite car here?
That's a Carrera GT, I'm biased.
Well, that's true. Okay, if let's say that car wasn't here, because I don't, you know,
911
too biased. I agree with that. I like that.
Or maybe this actually.
This is pretty good, and it's a hypercar, but 911R, a little more 911R is made, but it's just more raw, more of a driver's car. This is super cool. It's a hypercar, but
absolutely.
911R is a guy's car.
Less batteries than a 911R. I
Exactly.
came up because I had something starting up. I think there's going to
GT4RS.
be musical chairs up here in a second.
Oh, cars are going to move.
Yeah, I'm going to go and film that.
And now we're left face to face with 918, nothing blocking it, next to another great car, the Sport Classic GT2RS. Just kind of the best Porsches here, and there's more downstairs, which we're going to go check out. As you can tell, this is a lift and not a floor. Yeah, the R8 Spider, you know, a Targa here, Targa there, Targas everywhere, but yeah, kind of, you know, your regular supercars you're going to drive. But here is one of my favorites, Aventador Ultimate. Honestly, these almost look like an S. You really have to know what you're looking at to get it, but this is the final Aventador. SVJ power, cleaner look because there's no aero. I don't really like all the wings and everything on the SVJ. This is a lot nicer. Get all these little kind of indents on the seats to show it's an Ultimate, one of 250 roadsters, so the most rare variant of the Aventador, I believe. GT2 RS, 992 Turbo S, and he said pretty much anything here that's not numbered. So where it will be the Targa, the R8s, the Turbos, the GT2s is modified and is probably around 900 horsepower, 800 horsepower. But then you get the rare cars, something like the Sport Classic right here. You know, this is a very, very special car. It's numbered, it's unique, it's something they don't make very often. So this one stays stock because, you know, it's a very collectible car. So we have the Ford GT getting ready to be set up to be on the elevator right here. And as soon as you go down the stairs, also 911R, this is such a collector's car. You know, this was supposed to be the last manual 911 you can get, but obviously they did the new GT3s and everything. But still, from what I heard, this car drives more raw than a GT3 Touring. It's rarer, it's more unique. I think it looks a little bit better. Such a special car, and people kind of forget this car exists. And LaFerrari, we know this car very well. And LaFerrari's leaving. Away he goes. So we just randomly went on a Chipotle run, and my friend Mark was driving on Highway 7 over there, and he sends me a picture of this wire roadster just driving around in traffic. So he saw that turn in here, so I'm like, you know what? It's on my way home. I gotta stop by and see this car and take a picture because it's a freaking Pagani Huayra. But yeah, I think this car had a little transformation because I think it had some gold accent stuff which they blacked out. I think it may have been matte carbon before, which they changed, but they did a little transformation before delivering it to the new owner. But man, it looks so cool. The gold writing, the quad exhaust, signature Pagani, everything is carbon. The AMG V12, and look at the interior. This is freaking crazy. Just in Toronto, I mean, this used to be like, when we saw Pagani in Toronto, it was because a press car was here like once a year for something and everybody would run to it. Now we just see it randomly outside of a restaurant. So showing up to a Porsche event, you definitely don't expect this, but McLaren Senna, pretty cool. Definitely a shutdown kind of moment. Very different from anything that's here, but center of attention nonetheless. Okay, this could be crazy. Let's watch this. Holy shit, what? What the hell? White P1 and a Koenigsegg. What? Excuse me? What the fuck am I looking at? What? I almost left. Thank God I did not leave. This is crazy. What? I don't think I've even seen a picture of this one before. Like, and the white P1, like, come on. This is crazy. GT3RS Koenigsegg. Honestly, I was about to leave. I was about to leave. Damn. Murcielago first gen manual on this sick green with a tan interior, gated manual. Such a cool looking car. In front of it, 430. It's got like the Scuderia style grille, but it's not a Scuderia. And let's see, it is a gated manual 430. Look at this duo of the greats from the 2000s. The 430 manual, Murcielago manual. So cool. Guys, we're back at the Dare to Dream collection. If you guys remember, we did a full tour of this place kind of when we had it to ourselves about 3 weeks ago. Today is finally big auction day. Like I told you guys, everything here was for sale. Today we're going to see what everything sells for. Follow along. It's going to be a pretty good day. Literally, we're going to see the results on the LaFerrari, MC12, Bugatti Veyron. There's no reserve, so everything is going to sell. We're going to see some crazy numbers on cars that don't typically sell. Yeah, just a quick recap if you haven't watched the last video. You know, Testarossa, F50, Enzo, MC12, LaFerrari, F40, 288 GTO, SF90, Veyron. Look, we're going to walk more, but just everything is here. Every essential, iconic car that you need to have in a collection, to have a complete collection, is here. And it's all going to sell today. The McLaren P1, the only one with the Golf livery. Man, like, growing up when I was car spotting, this was like one of the main cars we always wanted to see. We got to see it a few times out and about, but sad to see it go, but it's going to be cool to see it sell. I mean, blue on orange with the matching kind of interior with the orange accents, blue and orange knobs. I mean, what a cool car. And it got driven. We got to see it, and now we're going to see it go. But yeah, 918, freaking crazy in the parking lot. S2K, just all these different types of cars. And the car we were waiting on is here. Here, our friend Amin in the 4GT Carbon series. Carbon wheels, pretty sick. Oh yeah, race mode all the way slammed. It's pretty cool. And here we have one of our friends' Sennas actually. Pretty cool to see him driving it. You know, the red Senna, a few carbon accents. And across from that is another Senna, orange with blue accents. Look at this kind of Canadian spec. There's like a leaf on the hood, but black and orange 720. A lot of really cool McLarens here. You know, a bunch of different types, but cool to see two Sennas outside in one place. Just a quick Chiron Porsche Sport and A12 Comp Aperta with the roof on, but guys, we're not supposed to be here. We're just sneaking in some content for you guys, pretending like we belong. So appreciate it while we got it, but honestly pretty good specs. New 4GT, crazy. Carbon series 4GT, carbon wheels. Now here is something you do not see every day. A Heritage Edition 991.2 Speedster, pretty much a 911 GT3 RS, but with a manual and the top down. Also, these cars so underrated. People kind of forgot that they exist, I think. Nobody talks about them anymore, but what a great car. I love these things. The black SVJ. It's pretty cool. Gloss black, no stickers, pretty clean look. And we got a new one right here. This is a new Veyron to the city. I hope it's in the city, but B plates. This car was sold by RM Sotheby's. Very cool to see that we're starting to pick up on some Bugatti inventory in Toronto. Before there was maybe one Veyron when we first started car spotting. Now there's a bunch of Chirons, Veyrons, different specs. Very cool to see. This one has like the burgundy interior, which personally I'm not a huge fan of, but the color combo is pretty nice. I think it's probably an 08 16.4. I love this thing. Honestly, I hope we see it driving around. Then a pretty cool Ferrari F12. These you don't see a lot anymore, but look at this white Scuderia, gold wheels. Honestly, it even looks lower. This thing looks slammed to the ground, but the scuds are just great cars. So we just parked the NSX, and as soon as we park, first car to pass by, Huracan STO in matte red. Oh, and 6 cars creeping out of nowhere. Just heard that voice. And Amin pulling in with the Ford GT. And a Huracan Evo with him as well. We saw this in our last video, I think, going to Guelph. One valet gets to drive a Senna, the other one gets to drive a Civic. Close enough, but it's a little bit different. The yellow Carrera GT, we did a video with this car like 2 years ago. Awesome car. Guys, it's a new day and we are driving a LaFerrari. We're gonna go take some shots. We got Zach Brell with us.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's go shoot this car. We haven't shot this car in quite a while. Nothing beats a Ferrari Hypercar, one of the Hyper 5, and nothing beats Zach Brell in the passenger seat. But right now, we're gonna go shoot this thing. So we are shooting the LaFerrari now in the middle of the road. There's gonna nobody here. Car looks so freaking good right here. Haven't tried in a while, and it had the white wheels for a while if you guys saw in the videos. Now it's back to the black wheels. I think we did it for the auto show. But yeah, honestly, always fun to shoot a LaFerrari. Guys, we're at one of the craziest collections in the city. Most cars are not even here right now, and the cars keep on changing, keep getting new cars and just replacing everything, and just the craziest stuff you don't really see anywhere else, especially not in Toronto. But let's go take a look at what's here. So let's start off right here. Here under the cover, there's an SLS Roadster in black. Above that is a Ferrari 348. And then Mercedes SLS Black Series up top, but it's not a regular SLS Black Series. It's a Rentec SLS Black Series. This thing is an absolute monster. Under that, one of 150 Mercedes SLR 722. And next has an E60 AMG. This is a very, very special car. And above that might look like your typical SL, but this is an SL65. It's not a regular SL65 either though. It's a Brabus SL65 with 800 horsepower. This thing must be mental to drive. Then moving on, look at this, Ferrari 512M. I think it's the most rare variant of the 512, the open headlights. And like I always say, I think any open headlight variant of a car that has pop-ups is usually better. So this very much applies to that rule. Above that, come on, you can't go wrong with a yellow LFA, and I heard there's a Nürburgring coming to this collection, but right now we have this yellow LFA right here. Speaking of yellow, look at this. How rare is this? Yellow Ferrari F50. If you guys remember, we actually saw this at a track day in Monticello back in September. He drove it around the track a little bit. Now the car's in Toronto, which is crazy. You would never expect, not like there's barely any F50s here in general, so a yellow one is crazy to see. Above that, under our cover is a 300 SL Roadster, but don't worry, there's another 300 SL here that we will see without the cover on. And this Enzo right here, this is not any Enzo. This Enzo was actually in Drake's music video. I don't remember which song, but this specific one was in Drake's music video. Super cool to see it here. Above that is another SLR. This one is in black. Now, I know what you're thinking. There's an SLS Black Series there, and you know, doing a Rentec thing to it, you want to keep a car like that original, or you want to have the original experience of what Mercedes intended to be. So don't you worry. There's a Rentec one right here, but there's a twin right here, which is not a Rentec one. If you want to have the originality and just drive a regular SLS Black Series, we got one right here. Moving on is this Carrera GT. Oh my God, 300 miles, I believe. Incredible car, best driver's car ever. And next to that, I think it's probably by now the third 918 they've had in this collection, but it's a Weissach white with black and red interior, 918 Spider. So cool. You kind of got the two generations, 959 missing, and I won't be surprised if that's going to come sometime soon. But look at this white 918. Above that is a very, very special car. This is the SL65 Black Series. I don't remember how many are made, but they're so rare. 670 horsepower, absolute monster. Then you got your daily driver right here, the Rolls-Royce Cullinan in purple, and SL65 Black Series. But this is the regular one, the 621 horsepower. This actually used to be my favorite car when I was like in high school. I love these things. They're so low-key, so underrated, and it's a monster. And then kind of going to the old version of this in the same color even, SL600, the V12 from the 90s. Incredible, you know, Zonda engine. If you put an exhaust on this, it will sound like a Zonda. Then we have here this kind of almost like Nardo gray, like a light gray Ferrari 812 GTS. So the convertible V12 front engine Ferrari, which convertible front engine Ferrari usually is recipe for classic. And I think that's what this car is going to be. But here we have a very special car, one of 99 Mercedes G650 Landaulet. So it's pretty much kind of as off-road aggressive as the 4x4 square, the 6x6, but whereas those have a V8, one's an AMG, one's not, this is the V12 AMG, and Landaulet means removable top. So you have a convertible back, Maybach interior. This is probably the most baller thing you could be driving around in, and the fact that this is just here in Toronto, imagine just driving this in the city. I think the only other person in the city that has one of these is Drake, so that's pretty epic. So look at this, the SLR HDK in this crazy blue with the white wheels. I think YYZ Curator actually saw a very similar spec to this in the UK about a week ago, but this is the only one in Canada. Looks insane, kind of like a wide body with a wing and everything, almost like a GT3 SLR car, but fully road legal, made by Lazante. Ooh, so we got some cars coming up. We got a Ford GT, tungsten gray, and a 918. This is sick. And the 918 right there.
Hello, sir. How's it going? So Mike.
Just waiting outside the Peterson, and a Ford GT Heritage just is casually driving in like it's no big deal. Look at this. Okay then, I guess Nathaniel had a valid reason for not being inside. Look at that. Oh. P1 GTR. Wild. Look at this thing on the road. Like, what? We are on the way to Pagani, and randomly there's a Diablo VT just right there, casually, no big deal. So you guys might have seen this car and the other one that's over there all over social media recently. These just got delivered. This is the final Porsche Sport Chiron. So the last one of kind of the track version of the Chiron. This is one of our buddy's cars. The exposed carbon with the red looks crazy. And again, this is the real last one. I know they kind of said about a few cars, but this is it. Craziest design on a Porsche Sport I've ever seen. Very, very customized. And then this is probably the highest mileage wire roadster in the world. 40,000 miles on this. He drives it regularly, coast to coast. We've done some videos, I think, in this car. But yeah, super cool red carbon wire. And again, if you drive them, clearly they are reliable. So where's that Chiron was the last Porsche Sport ever made. This is the last Super Sport. So Super Sport is a longer tail, top speed car. This one is exposed blue carbon with the same style stripes as that red one with the regular carbon, but these are blue stripes. The blue interior, that one had red interior. Again, the last Super Sport and the last Porsche Sport, both the same owner. Crazy addition to a collection, and a collection that's going to get driven. As much as these are iconic for being the last ones of their kind, but these, I can guarantee, are going to be high mileage, used and enjoyed cars.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a dry spell, but here is a Countach. Not bad. We haven't spotted anything cool in probably about an hour. Not bad.
And look at this GT2 RS 991.2. Looks like it's Gulf blue. That's a pretty sick color for that car. Yeah, strong start to today. Look at this, the Gear RS, the Vader, full carbon, which is crazy because this car also comes with carbon wheels that are pretty much almost matching the actual weave on the full carbon. So it's like, imagine a paint to, like a wheels paint to sample thing, like matching the car. but with the carbon fiber. That's wild. And you got this kind of little silver trim right here all around the car. The wing is nuts, kind of extending from the roof line. The interior, full Alcantara and carbon. Honestly, these things are nuts. And like, yeah, I just love this roof scoop in this silver. Looks crazy. Look at this Heritage Edition Speedster. That's a sick spot. Okay, so check this out. This is a Mercedes SLR with a lot of MSO bits, as you can tell by the wheels. Also a different splitter, and the color in this green is honestly the craziest color I have seen on an SLR. The tan interior works well with it, and it is a roadster, but man, these cars have aged so well. Such a classic line with a really long hood and a very short back, just a very nice GT car. But next to it, LFA in white. I think white is probably my favorite color on the LFA, but what an iconic car. Kind of the two iconic. This is from like the early to mid 2000s. This is from around 2011, 2012, but you just don't see these cars on a regular anymore. People don't drive them. And this McLaren Senna with this livery with the chrome and the red. Very nice looking wheels on it too. The Sennas are so aggressive, and honestly I think they're so undervalued for what you get. I mean, it's so much car, and it's like a little over SVJ money. It's not bad. So look at this. If I had a GT3 RS, I guess this would be my spec. The white wheels with the white car, it's my spec, but this is matte white. This actually looks pretty cool. But the white wheel is always a move on these cars, especially with carbon ceramic brakes where it won't get as destroyed as mine. And look at this, the Veyron Vitesse, 1200 horsepower, the super sport engine, but with the top down, super rare, and again, in white. Like, this car looks so freaking good. I think a white Bugatti is the way to go. I really, really like this thing. The spec with the two-tone with the black. The back of the Veyron always looks good in like a contrasting color. You can tell the difference in the little details. Sick. So here's a cool car. So this is a Sport Classic. If you guys remember, we reviewed this probably about 10 months ago, and what it is a rear-wheel drive manual turbo pretty much. And again, I had honestly a blast driving. It's my first manual new Porsche that I've liked in a while. This one's got the black interior. You can choose either the black or the brown, and this is kind of the normal gray you'll get with it. But honestly, what a cool car. Viper nice. ACR. Man, we're pulling out. The Super Sport is in front of us. We're in the Porsche Sport. It's gonna go across the street. Not a long ride, but very cool interior. A ton of carbon fiber, red leather. And yeah, look at the blue one right there. Matte black SVJ Roadster. You know what? The Roadster SVJs is trying to grow on me. I don't know if I'm still too into the coupes, but I like the Roadsters. Martini livery, silver YSAC package 918. Just kind of parked still far away from all the action. So that just tells you whatever we're going to see there is going to be a big deal. This is the definition of a race car for the road. This is street driven, street legal McLaren Senna GTR. It doesn't get any more hardcore than this. Shmi 150's 4GT straight from the UK. Crazy that he just keeps on shipping it over from here and, you know, driving and actually properly enjoying it across the world. So by far the highlight of the show is this right here. This is CLK GTR Roadster, one of 6 Roadsters ever made. They made 25 total CLK GTRs, 19 coupes, only 6 Roadsters. And the crazy thing is, this is on like aftermarket wheels. I think they're HREs or something like that, but apparently this car is going to get driven quite a lot during car week. I really, really hope we're going to see it because, man, this thing is a monster. Look at the size and the shape. This is peak cars, not peak 2000s, 90s, whatever. This is one of the greatest ever made of all time. Like, this is never going to be under $8, $9, $10 million ever again. Now, like I said, this is probably the best car meet you could go to at a car show. Apollo IE right here next to that CLK GTR. The lineup here is crazy because then when we go to this side, there's a Pagani Zonda R, blue carbon, crazy car. And if we go there, there's just plenty of Bugattis and F40s and everything. We haven't explored too many of the cars yet. We're gonna be here for a while. We're gonna check out the cars. So honestly, it's endless hypercars. So here we have like a full carbon body Bugatti Chiron Porsche Sport with the sky view, with the blue accents. And next to that, I really wanted to see the Super Sport. I never knew if I'm gonna see it. I never knew what area it's in, but I've seen pictures. This white on red spec is wild. So a lot of people do cars white on red, but I mean, the attention to detail here is crazy. The full back bumper is red. You have this line kind of going up the middle, but the car is a super metallic white color with the kind of C shape for the Chiron in red. It just very good accents. It's got Super Sport wheels and the crazy white and red interior to fully match the outside of the car. But, you know, Super Sport top speed car, one of the fastest cars ever made. So we went inside to hide a little bit from the sun and the AC, and we come back out, and I don't know when this got here, but yellow LaFerrari Aperta, one of 210. Never see them. They only came in select few colors. Yellow is one of them, but you can see the roof is removable. The mirrors are slightly different, and the door opens up, but not as far up as the coupe. But yeah, such a rare car. The Apertas, you have to really be a VIP client to get one of these. But yeah, this is a LaFerrari Aperta from the meet. We are in the OC right now, and it is way too hot. We're falling asleep, but there's a LaFerrari, so we gotta get out of the car and get some photos. Yeah, so we randomly spotted Shmi's Ford GT again. I think he's just having lunch over there, but yeah, honestly, I do really like the spec. I don't know if I've seen another spec like this with the red and the gold. And again, from the UK, I guess it took off the carbon wheels because it's a little expensive if anything happens. Ooh, a little DBS Volante, not bad. And we found Tim right here on the highway. What's up? Damn, that's rare. Damn, that's rare. Damn, that's rare. So according to 6 Cars right here, this is a Momo edition. I don't really know too much about that, but man, it looks so freaking good. The red Diablo. Diablo's one of my favorite cars. Guys, if somehow we're ever super successful on YouTube, you will see me with a Diablo. And man, the open headlights look so good. Like I say, open headlights on any car that has the option for it usually means it's the better variation of the car. Finally, we found something. Let's go look at it. Here it is, P1 chassis number 2 from Toronto. So we've seen this car on the channel a bunch of times. Familiar with the car. The car got driven all the time around the city. Full carbon body, chassis number 2. And chassis number 2 Senna was actually the matching spec of this. But look at this crazy interior, all green, but green wheels matching. First hypercar spot. Oh, I didn't even notice there's a LaFerrari right there. But come on, starting off good. Let's go. But yeah, didn't even see this all black LaFerrari. Looks absolutely mean. I honestly think these will actually look great with like a matte BPF, just matte black LaFerrari. I'm not a big matte black kind of guy, but on this car it will look great. Got 2 out of 3 Holy Trinity right here. Starting off the day right. Took a second to get traction, but we got some cars. So first car kind of worth running for is this Mint F40. We saw this in Germany, if you guys remember, probably about a year and a bit ago. So what we're looking at now is Zonda Nero. This car is honestly crazy. Black paint, and it's pretty much from what I was told, kind of like a black tricolore with all the crazy vents right here and the fins. And man, I don't think I've seen too many pictures of this car, even yet alone see it in person. And Tuesday of car week, first car we see is a Zonda. I mean, there's no better start than that, really. And this is exactly how it got better. We have a CLK GTR Roadster. You guys might have seen it in the Hypercar meet video a few days ago, but one of 6 made, 25 total cars, 6 of them are Roadsters. But look at the crowd it is attracting here. All the spotters from all over Monterey heard this car's here and they came down to see it. And man, is it worth the trip to come down here for 20 minutes or whatever from wherever you're from, on the water, just CLK GTR Roadster. This is my 5th car week. It's the first time I've ever seen one in the wild. So we have here an SP3, the new Ferrari hypercar, kind of a non-hybrid LaFerrari, V12, naturally aspirated, and the roof is removable. So you can kind of say this is a better version of a LaFerrari Aperta. They went back to the basics, didn't overcomplicate the car, and they designed it to look so freaking good. This red is so nice. This one has a blue stripe, but the one thing I really love about this car is the interior. The blue Alcantara, like the launch spec, looks honestly epic. Carbon fiber roof, and it just kind of looks like what you would dream a Ferrari to look like. They didn't make it look like any other car on the road. It really just sticks out, different than anything else they've made recently. So you can really appreciate that they went out of their way to make this a truly great car, and I think it is being appreciated for that. So next up on the crazy spotting adventures of a Tuesday in Monterey, we have this Carbon Chiron Super Sport. Now this one, look at the design. This is all factory, all paint, the full carbon body with all the blue kind of lines and accents that even transfer over to the wheels and the brake calipers. Absolutely wild spec. It's got the sky view, and even in the interior, when you look inside, you can see on the door panels, all those weird squiggly lines just keep going on there. I mean, the amount of effort and amount of detail that's on this car, honestly, this is so cool that Bugatti would do that for a customer and go that creative. And this is truly a one-of-one spec. You're never going to see one like this ever again. Look at this random spot, silver F40. Damn, all the LM bits came out of nowhere. Okay, so here it is, the full carbon green body Aston Martin Valor. This is probably about a $500,000 option for the carbon body. And yeah, I mean, manual V12, can't really go wrong with that. Very limited car, 110 cars, I believe. But yeah, pretty cool to see it here. I didn't realize how expensive these were, but honestly, it does kind of make sense. This kind of got everything going in a classic sports car, especially in Aston Martin. But yeah, this red P1, good thing it's parked in race mode with the wing up. I do think this car is actually here every year. We usually do see it around Ocean Avenue. This Cobra starting up. But yeah, honestly, pretty cool sight to see. We were just looping around and just saw it through the fence. So yeah, random small parking lot spots, and we have a Bugatti EB110, the original crazy Bugatti V12 quad turbo. Next to this V8 Vantage, which again, I'm not a big Aston Martin guy, but the interior looks absolutely wild from what you can see here with all the blue and the carbon bucket seats. Then we have this 488 Pista, my bad. And next to that is a Huayra Roadster. And you know what? I think this might be the first time I've ever seen a Huayra Roadster with the cloth top. I think I always see them with the hard top, but this exposed carbon fiber body looks honestly incredible. The blue interior on the Pista looks great. Blue interior on the Aston Martin looks great. And an EB110, like, come on, it's an EB110.
Where are we going?
We made a questionably wrong turn that is going to lead us to a longer route to where we're trying to go. But on the bright side, we found the P1 again. Yeah.
Here we go again.
Okay, let's try to circle around. 300 SL Gullwing, decent spot. So we found the Chiron. I don't know if it got pulled over. We were just talking to the cop. Everything seems to be okay, but sorry if I clickbaited you guys. I had to do it. Ooh, Larry right here winning auto in the GT4.
Alright, I expect really good lies when I see that picture on the internet later.
That was perfect timing. And we have Shmi 150 and the Ford GT. Look at that. Mr. Roy, double Fords just for me.
It's for you, sir. It's for you.
Okay, CLK GTR on the move again. I don't think we're gonna get a close look, but there he is. CLK. And a Carrera GT. Oh, listen to the CLK.
Here they come.
This color looks so freaking good. It's actually an iconic Porsche color, but the 918 is just such a great car. And see, this is just, we decided, you know, people are probably going to be shooting on Wednesday morning near the water because there's going to be less people around, and we were right. 918 as soon as we pretty much got onto this road. So the full carbon Apollo IE, we saw this yesterday with the doors up, leaving at the very end of the video. But this car looks mental. I mean, you look at the back, there's so much going on. I don't think there's any other car like this in the world that is this like crazy on the design. Even a Senna GTR that's right in front of it, just not on the same level of design as this. But yeah, speaking of the Senna GTR, here it is. We saw this thing rip it yesterday, do kind of like a little slide. So it's really nice to see this thing gets properly pushed. And just if you thought a Chiron Supersport and a Agera XS is enough, it is not, because we got two more Chirons. Both of them are Supersports as well. And not only that, we have a P1 HDK, which is just like the crazy body, like a P1 GTR body pretty much on a road car P1. And you know, it's the most aggressive looking thing you can drive on the road. But yeah, here it is. Last year there was a green Valkyrie, and that was crazy. I don't think I've ever seen even a picture of a black Valkyrie, but here we are. Look at how crazy small this thing is. So aerodynamic. The seat literally looks like it sticks out of the car when the doors open. But this is definitely the most hardcore track car you could buy today. This is like literally no compromise. Just be as fast as possible. Doesn't matter what it takes. Guys, like, they just keep driving around, but the K to 360, I mean, we have literally cars that have no duplicates. This is the only one in the world in that color. This is the only gated one in the world, and this is the only car like this in the world. They're just car week, and they're just driving around. Like, what's going on here? Valkyrie.
Give me fair.
CLK GTR coupe. We've been seeing the Roadster for the last few days, but Roadster's not enough. There's also a coupe here. This is so crazy. The coupe has this crazy roof scoop. They both look so aggressive, but honestly, the Roadster is sick, and I would probably pick a Roadster if I had the money to buy one, but
The coupe looks more aggressive for sure. 722. So while we were at lunch, another Utopia actually got here. So now we got 2 Utopias and a Huayra. It's so cool to actually see them out and about. This is the press car, but this is a customer car. Honestly, to be like one of the first people to have one of these must be an incredible feeling. We got a LaFerrari, and not any LaFerrari. This is a LaFerrari Aperta, one of 210 ever made. So the Koenigseggs are going now. Here's a world record car. Sounds good. And the last one, the Regera. They do sound really good. One of 25 Gambala Mirage GTs, full carbon. I don't know if I've seen this one before. Green accents, maybe it's one that got redone, but this is like you take the craziest car, which is the Carrera GT, and you just make it crazier and more rare. And honestly, you never really see them outside of car week, so it's so cool to see one just casually parked out here. So Spanish Bay is on fire right now. There's this Veyron getting unloaded. And there's this Carrera GT over there. And it is just non-stop. Stradman is somewhere here with the Koenigsegg too. But I've never seen this Veyron before. This is actually such a sick spec. How is there no crowd around the CGT and the Koenigsegg CCX? Like, everybody's over there. I don't know what's there. We're gonna go walk over and look, but this is a wild combo. Crazy part is nobody's paying attention to this LP640 Roadster, because this LP640 Roadster is actually a manual. This is like one of maybe 10 in North America. Crazy. So guys, we kind of have to run to move the car, but holy crap. We got a Cinque right here, one of 5, the green one of 2 colored coupes. There's also a Huayra BC Roadster, or BC Coupe over there, I mean, SVJ, but I'm not even gonna walk over to the Huayra, guys. Sorry if you like that car, but Son the Cinque deserves all my attention. I mean, this is just holy grail of car week. Same level as like a McLaren F1 or anything like that. This is, oh my god, green Super Sport. What? So guys, there's a Subway in downtown Monterey, and there's this thing that started happening here. So I go here to eat like once every car week, and for the last 4 years in a row, every time I come to eat here, there's been a Bugatti somewhere right outside here. So started off, we're in here, look outside, and a Chiron drove by. The next year we're inside, the Stradman's Veyron drove by here. Last year, a blue Veyron drove by here. And this year, you just saw the Chiron go by here. Speedtail! P1! Guys, it's been 30 seconds since we saw the Bugatti. So guys, Bugatti, Speedtail, P1, and there's a Carrera GT parked right over there. What's going on here? This is like all within 20-30 seconds. It literally doesn't get better than this. A Stratos and a Miura at sunset on the beach in Monterey. This is like peak moment of the year, not even just of car week. This is what you want to see. Like, look at this. This is just like a wallpaper. Let's go. Got all the Koenigsegg going right now. I can't even turn around in time. Oh, the Cinque. That Cinque sounded crazy. Hey, ready? Wait. Look at that lineup. And then, just if you thought it couldn't get any better, behind the Zondas, we still have a Valkyrie right here, all black. This car looks like it should not just be street parked on a random street. This looks like it should just be on a track, and that's about it. But here it is getting street driven. So look at this lineup right here. This is just the back lot. There's a lot of cars in the other lot, but here got 25th anniversary Countach, GT3 RS, Senna, Huayra Roadster, Huayra BC, Schmies 4GT, Spiker C8, Diablo, Heritage 4GT, Revuelto Utopia Roadster in a manual. The car just came out like last week. Then we got a Wyra right here, No Tempesta, which nowadays is pretty rare. EB110, Porsche Sport, Super Sport, Wyra BC Roadster, Jacob and Kosher on Super Sport, Sabre Senna. The I forgot what it's called, but then the Gunther Works, Koenigsegg RS, Koenigsegg RS, Jesko, and you can kind of see the Regera sneaking right back there. Drone flying over to get all the shots, but man, nowhere else in the world are you gonna get a lineup like this on one driveway. So yeah, I think I've shown this car on the channel before, but I'm not 100% sure. It's the Bianco Fuji 599 GTO with the crazy blue and red accents. And the craziest part is honestly the interior, full red. Like even the fire extinguisher wrap is in red leather, but man, this car is so mint. One of the craziest specs on a 599 GTO. And you know, Enzo engine, sounds incredible. And I think next car to get unloaded is either the SV or the LaFerrari. But yeah, this is gonna be here all weekend. I didn't know this is here. Jag X J220 with the S kit. It's not a real S, but it has the S kit. And we got the LaFerrari with the Stradman driving. What's up? And a pretty solid lineup. So look at the lineup we have here. The Matt White, Veyron, Floyd Mayweather's car. You guys saw these actually all in the last video, but now we have them out and about in the wild. 599 GTO and the LaFerrari. Awesome lineup with, you know, the big YouTubers. We got F-Spa right here, the man himself. And now Sheep's coming all different colors.
Mouton Noir, baby.
Make sure to get yours today.
Whoa, the plug.
Ooh, the plug.
I think Mouton Noir is going with 599 GTO.
Ooh.
That's a hot take, brother.
That's it. He called it, and now you guys gotta live with it. So yeah, we're in the LaFerrari, and I gotta say, like, it is still surreal, even though, you know, we've been doing this for years and filming these videos and always in crazy cars. When you're like sitting, one factor of it is sitting in a LaFerrari and you're just driving it on the road, and it's just like a little unbelievable because, you know, when this car came out, I was in high school, and it's like I never in a million years thought I would be driving one of these. And even crazier, around that time, maybe a little bit later, I was watching Stradman videos, and who's in front of me in a 599 GTO? It's the Stradman. So I gotta say, this is a pretty surreal moment for me, and as much as I love filming these videos for you guys, and it's like my passion and what I want to make my career, at the end of the day, this is the type of moment that I also want to film to remember for myself for the rest of my life, because honestly, even for me, this is like super exciting, and I can't believe I get to do this. Just ditch it, street park, doesn't matter. Top down, and look at the crowds all just coming here. What? Just, that is interesting. Danny, is that a Porsche or a Bugatti?
That's a Honda.
That's a Honda. What's that? Jeep Wrangler. That's it. Wow, the Veyron. I feel like we see this car actually quite a lot. Pretty sick. 16.4, like a light blue and a dark blue. I think this guy comes out to the winter meets a lot. From one Ford GT to another, but this is the Ken Miles. This is the Heritage, one of the later cars. I mean, this is awesome. Kind of a tribute to the original GT40 that raced in Le Mans, but honestly, awesome that people are getting these like special Heritage liveries and they're actually driving them, because I think a lot of these will be getting put into collections and they don't get driven at all. Here we have a Bugatti Chiron. Man, I don't think I've seen a hypercar in this spot in at least 2 to 3 years. They used to be here in almost like a weekly basis. There'll be like a LaFerrari here, an Enzo, a 288. I mean, you name it, we've seen it in this exact spot, and it's absolutely wild. And I love seeing that people are back. This Bugatti was previously owned in Montreal. I don't know who bought it, but somebody in Toronto bought it, and they've been driving it, and the car's been spotted. I didn't know if it's gonna get spotted in the regular spots, but I love that they're bringing back car spotting. They're parking in the spots you want to see them at. And guys, here we are. Car spotting is back. We got a Bugatti Chiron. Check out the view of walking up to these. Like, come on guys, you've seen reviews of this and of that on my channel, but now we get to drive the CGT. Okay, I am terrified right now, but handbrake on, let go of the clutch, let go of the clutch, let go of the clutch, let go of the handbrake, and we are moving on an incline in a Carrera GT. Oh, of course, I'm gonna have to cut me off, but we are moving successfully. Uphill started, a Carrera GT, live goal complete. I am now officially an expert driver. I gotta say, this is the hardest possible thing you could possibly do as a driver. So I have done that I don't need to drive cars ever again. This is all I've ever needed to do. But now I am not stopping again on any uphills, no matter what. So now we get to some serious cars here at the Miller booth. We have the new Vantage right here, which kind of, in my opinion, looks like a 177 in the front. I really like that, but obviously we got to talk about the Pagani Huayra Roadster right here, because this Roadster is full carbon, but of course has the coolest piece that I think any Pagani could have, which is convertible with a roof scoop. I think that's probably the thing that makes any car as cool as possible, because you can hear the induction noise, plus you have the open top. I mean, this is awesome. I think it's like the Tempesta Package 2 on the Roadsters or something, but you get the wing, you get the roof scoop. Looks incredible, especially with the carbon fiber body. You know, can't hate a car like this. It honestly starts looking almost as aggressive as a Zonda. Next to the Huayra, there is this full carbon Bugatti Chiron, but the carbon is not as visible as it is on the Huayra, as you can see. So it's a lot more low-key. You have all these kind of little aluminum pieces, maybe you want to say chrome, but with the black badge as well. But honestly, sky view as well. The Chiron is such a great car, but personally, maybe it's because I grew up on them. Maybe it's just because it's a convertible, the specific one. But I think I like the Veyron better, especially this Grand Sport right here. Honestly, the car aged so well, and they're like half the price of the Chiron. And I really think in reality, you're not going to feel much of a difference driving the Veyron. This one's awesome. The kind of creamish white color with the white and red interior with an open top. I mean, I've driven a Veyron, but it wasn't a Grand Sport. I feel like with an open top, it's going to be a completely different experience. And honestly, it doesn't get more crazy than this. I think this is like ultimate vision of success as you're driving a Bugatti Veyron. Look at this thing. Oh my god. And again, we're just in the beginning of the meet. Usually, you know, cool cars show up late normally. I mean, you know, fashionably late. But behind it, we got another GT3 RS that nobody's even paying attention to because of the Senna. But look at how much painted parts are on this Senna. There's almost no carbon other than where you'd see it on every other one. You have the Senna signature on the wing. Everything in the back is painted. This is such a different spec from the one we drove a few days ago. Man, nothing quite like a Senna.